Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video I'm going to show you how to create a USB BIOS Flashback USB stick on a Macintosh. So for those of you that are building your first Windows PC, you've just bought all of your components and you're building your own computer, and it comes to the point where you need to do a BIOS Flashback and you don't have a PC already working to do it, but maybe you've got access to a Macintosh or a MacBook, whatever the choice may be, this video should be able to help you out. Now there is something which you may want to consider also, is the fact that a lot of the new modern Macintosh computers don't have a USB type A port, one of these. So you'd need to get yourself an adapter or some kind of USB hub which actually has that built in. So this is a Ugreen adapter. I bought a bunch of these because they're really handy to have. So it's got USB type C, which you can plug into your Macintosh, and then you can take your USB type A and you can plug that into the other end. So thus converting USB type A into USB type C. So with all that out of the way, let's go over to the computer and we'll take a closer look and see how it's done. Okay, so we're on our Macintosh and I'm going to plug in our USB stick to begin with. So this is our USB flashback drive. Now this particular drive is 32 gigabytes in size. So this is actually really easy to format on both Windows and Macintosh. And you can see there's the drive, no name. What we need to do is to actually go into the Finder, and if you just type in disk, and it comes up with the disk utility app, which is the one we're going to need to use. So just click on that and you'll get the disk utility application. So this is where a lot of people go wrong. The thought would be, there is your drive with no name, it says what it is. This one's already FAT32, so I've already done this previously. And you'd think you just click on the erase button and go through, change it to MS-DOS FAT, which is also FAT32, and click on erase. But no, that isn't actually going to work in some instances, because the drive also needs to be in the MBR format rather than the newer GPT or UEFI format. So let's cancel that. What we need to do is in disk utility, head up to view at the top here, and what we want to do is to show all devices rather than show only volumes. So let's show all devices, and now it's going to actually populate this area a little bit more. So now we can see the actual name of the drive, so that is important. If you only see no name, you're not going to be able to do this correctly. If you see the actual drive name itself, then you should be fine. So we're going to highlight this drive now, and then we can click on erase. And now we can see we've got the scheme option. So leave it as untitled or just leave it blank, whichever you want to do. And also go down to MS-DOS, so FAT, and then make sure that this says master boot record. Potentially on some drives it'll be set as GUID, or maybe even the Apple partition map. This is also useful, so if you want to actually have a larger USB drive, which we'll show you shortly, you want to use it on both your Mac and also your Windows PCs, this is the way to do it. So master boot record is what we want to do. That's okay. Click on erase. It'll go through, and there we go. Operation has been successful. So that's all done. We can click on done. There it is, our drive. So we've finished with this one now. We can highlight it and we'll click on eject. And we'll take that one out. So that's our 32 gigabyte drive. So now let's try it with a larger drive. So I've got a Lexar drive here. This one is 128 gigabytes. So that in theory shouldn't be able to be formatted as FAT32 on a Windows computer, but Macintosh can. So again, we've got to make sure that in view, we've got the option set to, there we go, view. Make sure that show all devices is highlighted. You can use the command and 2 button if you wanted to. So go to the Lexar drive and right click, and we'll choose erase. And again, as you can see, currently it's set to GUID. So we'll change it to master boot record, and we'll change that to FAT. And there we go. So click on erase. And it'll go through and do the job for you. So now we've got both a 32 gigabyte drive, our smaller one, and also we've got our larger one. So hopefully if you've got a drive which is maybe a lot larger, maybe a 512 or a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 4 terabytes even, and you want to use it between Mac and Windows, you can use FAT32 to enable you to do that, and it'll be able to be read on various machines. Obviously, if you need to actually just use exFAT, which is also compatible across the two, you can use that as well, but this is primarily based at people wanting to do BIOS flashes on their motherboards So yeah, hopefully this has been useful to you. Obviously when you're finished as well, don't forget, because Mac doesn't like it if you pull drives out, make sure you highlight the drive, right click and choose eject, and then you can pull it out of your machine. And then it should disappear from our list in disk utility. So there we go. In this video we've created a 32GB FAT32 file system drive for BIOS flashing, and also now we've got a 128GB one, which will also probably do it as well. Boards around the world and different manufacturers do react differently to different drives, so obviously this guide isn't foolproof. Potentially you may find some incompatibility with certain drives, but hopefully this video will help you at least get to the point where you can try using the disk and to hopefully get your BIOS flashed. If you're having problems with this video or BIOS flashbacks in general, feel free to let us know in that comments section. If you want a quicker response, head over to the Discord and drop into there, into one of the BIOS support rooms, and we'll do our best to try and help you out. I think that's going to pretty much wrap this one up. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, smash that like button. If you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe. And if you do that, click on the all notifications. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing, Reviews and How To. And hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.